It's time to talk about a very big problem which faces many, many devotees, is that they're not like completely happy and satisfied in devotional service because, well, there are many reasons. I want to talk about one specific reason that I think is kind of the foundational problem. I think you know this problem. When we become Krishna conscious, we actually give up quite a lot. I gave up my guitar. So I used to play guitar for 2 to 3 hours every day from the age of 13 to the age of 19 when I joined. 365 days a year. The guitar was like my third arm, seriously. And then I joined and just had some good guitars. I just gave them, they sold them. And wow, that was huge. And I used to surf at one point in my life, sometimes every day. It was an addiction of addictions. And then I became a devotee, finished, and girlfriends, and drugs, and eating anything you want, whenever you want, and on and on. And we gave all of that up. Were we crazy or what? And how do we do that? And now that we give that all up, what do we have? We have Krishna, which is better than all of that, no doubt, no doubt. But if you give all of that up and you don't have enough Krishna, what happens? Your spiritual life becomes difficult. And a lot of us are in this situation, sometimes circumstantially and sometimes internally. We create it. But I want to give an example to illustrate how I see this. Maybe this will help you. You know, if you've ever gone camping, camping is austere, but it's fun, it's beautiful, you're in nature, it's exhilarating, it's happy, it's peaceful, right? So you go out in nature, and now you just like all your comforts are gone. You're sleeping in a tent, it could be cold or hot, sleeping on the ground, you're cooking on a fire, you're walking to the bathroom or going in the forest to take care of your business. It's kind of not really comfortable. Maybe you leave your phone at home, your computer, everything, and it's like all your creature comforts, they're gone. But you're in the forest, and let's say you love the forest, and there's rivers, streams, mountains. It's beautiful, and you in the forest is like you are just like kindred spirits with the forest. So you're in this forest and you're having such a good time and you feel so good because there's so many wonderful things about the forest, and you love the waterfalls and you love to swim and you love to hike and so on and so forth. So it works because you have those things. But let's say it's raining for days and days and days and you can't go out of your tent, and now there you are sitting in your tent, no phone, no computer, everything's locked up, you're just in the tent. Then there's a problem. And so that's what happens with a lot of devotees. The bliss that brought them to Krishna consciousness, that maintained them so they could give those things up, they don't always get it because they're not always engaged in enough service and enough sadhana, circumstantially, whatever the reason is. But we have to make sure that we are engaged in enough service and sadhana, because if we aren't, this is what happens. So what happens when that vacuum is? Then your mind's going crazy. You're thinking about all the things you gave up and how you want to enjoy them, and then you just want to get out of there and enjoy them. So that's what happens a lot to devotees. So what I'm saying is, realize that becoming a devotee, you actually have given up a lot, and the only way you could maintain that peacefully and happily without literally going crazy is to feed yourself enough Krishna consciousness, so that you're always satisfied, you're always blissful. You're going more deeply into Krishna consciousness, and you feel that there's nothing else that I would ever want to do. There's nothing else that could be better than this. And it's everything for me. And then now I'm satisfied, even though I've given up so many things. And then I don't think about all the things I've given up because it doesn't matter, because I have so much more in my life. But if you take that away, you don't give yourself enough, or you don't give yourself good rounds. You give yourself 16 bad rounds. That's dangerous, because basically you're just sitting in your tent and it's raining outside, and you eventually start going crazy. And you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just saying this just so you keep this in mind, you keep this in perspective. Don't starve yourself in Krishna consciousness, because it's very dangerous if you starve yourself, because you're going to want to eat somewhere and something. And if you starve yourself from Krishna consciousness, you're going to eat something else. And you know it's true, but sometimes you allow yourself to drift. And I'm just trying to bring us to this point of realizing why it is so dangerous to allow ourselves to do that.